Chapter 1. It was a series of bad decisions that led to me being alone in the dark, pushing a bicycle through a ditch alongside a busy highway in the middle of Delaware. Only a couple of weeks previously, I'd been putting the finishing touches to a grand plan to fly to New York with a friend, buy a car and drive across the USA, all the way to California. Instead, I was on my own with a broken bicycle in a dark ditch in Delaware. Things had not gone to plan. I carried on pushing. I was unlit, dressed in impractical clothing, and there was no space on the edge of the highway to safely push a bike. The ditch was the only option. My back tire had exploded at the worst possible moment. Darkness had fallen, and I was left stranded many miles from my hotel in the neighboring state of Maryland. I continued walking in the hope that a building would materialize, someplace where I could get some sleep and worry about the bike in the morning, or somewhere with a telephone where I could at least call for help. Who I would call, I wasn't sure, but at least it would be a start. I decided to try and hitch a lift. I'd never hitchhiked before, and being accompanied by a huge bicycle on a road with no stopping places was probably not the best place to start. I was left with little choice. I climbed out of the ditch, stood on the roadside, and stuck out a thumb. I was unfamiliar with the etiquette of hitchhiking. Should I keep walking? Should I just stand still and try to make eye contact with the drivers? I tried a combination of the two, with disastrous consequences. I shuffled backwards, stumbling every few meters as I caught my legs on the pedals. Almost every other car that passed gave a loud blast of the horn. Who was I kidding? I didn't look like the most inviting prospect for passing motorists. I certainly wouldn't have picked me up. It was time for me to take the bike out of the equation. I tossed it into the ditch so that it was hidden from view of the road and stuck out my thumb again. 10 minutes passed and all I received was a barrage of angry car horns. I suddenly hated America. I cursed my idiotic idea to pack a backpack in England to come and travel this stupid country. I could be back home eating home-cooked meals and experiencing America on television from the comfort of the sofa instead. 20 minutes passed. I became aware just how cold it was. It was October and I had foolishly set off in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt tricked by the bright blue American sky. Just as I was in the process of writing off an entire continent, an old, brown, battered station wagon came to stop a few yards further up the road. There was a brief lull in the traffic and I ran towards it. "You need a ride somewhere, boy?" said a man sat in the passenger seat. "Yes, please." "Hop in," he said, with a mouth containing no more than 3 teeth. He looked to be in his 70s, had long grey hair tied in a ponytail, patchy stubble, and a blue checkered lumberjack shirt. "Well, boy, what you waiting for?" said the other man, ducking his head so that he could see me from the driver's seat. He looked almost identical to his passenger, except his shirt was red and he had a couple more teeth. Thank you. That's really kind of you. I have a bicycle. Is there any chance I could throw that in the back too?" "You can bring the goddamn kitchen sink for all I care. Just get in." I rushed back up the road, heaved my bike out of the ditch, and then with a bit of manipulation and brute force, squashed it into the back of the station wagon. I dived prostrate on top of the bike, catching my balls painfully on the pedals in the process. "You in?" "Yes," I squealed, as I tried to readjust myself. "Thank you so much for stopping. You have no idea how grateful I am." "Where are you from?" said the driver. "England." "Oh, gee, I'm very sorry about that." They both looked at each other and laughed. "What the hell you doing out here in the dark of Delaware?" "It's a long story," I said.